Good morning, everybody. Actually, I think it's right at noontime. Get this light in the right spot there so you can see me. And of course, I'm Randy, and you're with Relaxing with Randy. Yeah, it's right at noon. So here on the West Coast. Of course, like I said yesterday, it doesn't really matter what time it is on the internet because pretty much 24/7 you can tune in whenever you want to. So just got my coffee. Just waiting for it to cool off just a tad. Actually, I like coffee really hot, to be honest with you. Mm, man, that's good. I've been drinking coffee since, oh, gee whiz. I think I started when I was maybe as young as 4 because I can remember getting what they call coffee milk. It'd be like half milk and half coffee in a little cup, little sippy cup. And I've been drinking coffee ever since. Started drinking it black, probably about 10 years old, something like that. And that's the only way I drink it. I don't like coffee with stuff in it. It just doesn't taste the same. I like that real strong coffee flavor. So anyway, as promised, I told you I would do a little research and find some good news. I'm getting sick of the bad news out there. So I came across this website right here. This is the Good News Network, and I was quite impressed with the stuff they have. It's not goofy news. It's not old news from 10 years ago. It's current news, but it's all good stuff, and it's not any of that junk that you see on Fox News and CNN nowadays. So they always give you a little quote of the day, and I'll read this to you. The one yesterday I read, I'm going to share that as well because I really liked it. Life is mostly froth and bubble. Two things stand like stone: kindness in another's trouble, courage in your own. So that was Adam Lindsay Gordon. I'll let you think about that for a little bit. And then yesterday, this one I like. This is from Benjamin Franklin. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man or woman. I like that. That's a good one. So that would be a good New Year's resolution, which is coming up in just a few days. Um, I don't know. I'm not big on resolutions because every time I make one or make some, I never end up making them or keeping them. Of course, the weight loss is always the big one for everybody. And by the time Valentine's Days roll around, you're sitting there eating the candy and saying, the heck with the exercising. So, but anyway, I want to share that. And then the other thing they have on this day in history, and actually today is happy 40th birthday to John Legend. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can read it right here if you want to get on this website. I don't know diddly squat about John Legend. I know he's a singer, and I'm sure he's a very good singer, but I just don't keep up with him much. My music that I like to listen to, believe it or not, is jazz. I love jazz. I love all facets of jazz. And that started way back when I went to college. I took a class called Jazz Appreciation or something like that. And it just really, jazz blows me away because there's so many elements of jazz. And I love listening to it. I also like, obviously, you probably figured this one out. I like country music, but I don't like the modern country music. It's just too pop sounding to me. And I like the more old style, like Willie Nelson and George Jones and Merle Haggard and people like that. Grew up hating country music because my mom played it. It seemed like it was 24/7. She just played it all the time. And I despised it growing up because of that whining sound and sound like a bunch of cats fighting. But anyway, I guess it. You get older, you just start liking it more. I used to like really hard classic rock and all that. Still like it every now and then, but I don't listen to it like I used to. And I really love classical music, believe it or not. You would never think a guy in old camouflage hat would like classical music, but I really enjoy it. Um, Good stuff. They got a great classical station around here that I listen to all the time. Well, anyway, let's see what they got going on today. There was a couple things I looked at before I got online here. I thought was interesting. The Nigerian Angel has secretly been paying for the hospital bills of poor and uninsured patients. That's interesting. Let's see here. Let's just go over that quickly. And by the way, if you need to look at this, it's goodnewsnetwork.org. So I guess it's like a nonprofit. Um, so this is the dude that's doing it, Zio Akarawe, I guess. He pays for patients' hospital bills. As only 5% of the population of Nigeria has health insurance. So this guy is considered an angel and is taking it upon himself to cover the cost of the treatments for patients. Um, so whenever he arrives at a hospital, he's greeted by a team of social workers, and they give him the conditions and stories of patients in need of his help. After being handed a list of the individuals who are unable to leave the hospital due to financial difficulties, he goes and he visits the patients to assess their condition and confirm their story with the nursing staff. And according to the BBC, um, he wants to be an example for how we should all thrive or strive to be an angel, be the angel you hope to meet. Um, so apparently, he just goes ahead and pays for their debt for the hospital, and that's pretty amazing. I have to say that. Um, let's see what else we got going on here in the USA. Government shutdown doesn't deter military volunteers from beloved tradition of tracking Santa. Okay, well, that was a couple of days ago. Santa Claus is back up in the North Pole, so ain't no point reading all that. U.S. just finalized the largest offshore wind sale in nation's history. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what that's about. And that was about a week ago, so I got to let you know that. Um, I'm just kind of skimming through the news, so I'm not really picking dates out. Let's see. Exciting new display of America's shift towards sustainability. The government has just leased out 390,000 acres of federally owned waters for offshore wind farming. Leasing rights collectively sold for over $400 million, making it the largest offshore wind deal in the nation's history. Well, that's interesting. So, I also read yesterday about a former NFL football player taking his money. I forget how much it was, and he actually started a town. It's the only town in America. I think it's down in Florida. Excuse me, and it's completely solar power. There's no electric grid or anything. It all comes from, there is electric grid, but it all comes from the solar panels. And every house has a panel or has panels, and every structure has panels. So that's kind of interesting too. Um, let's see what else we got going on. Inspiring news. I always like inspiring news. Oh, yeah, this one's interesting. Inspiring couple make a New Year's resolution, their New Year's resolution, to go on 52 dates, and they're about to succeed. Let me get my coffee here. So let's see. What's this about? They're about to complete their New Year's resolution. They're going to do it simply by having dinner together at a restaurant. And the reason is because they went out with each other once a week without their two kids. Excuse me. Sarah was a 22-year-old medical student when she started dating Justin, who's 27, in 2004. With his long hours and her rigorous coursework, their date nights mostly consisted of studying on the couch with the TV volume turned down. Eventually, they got married, settled down. And while the couple from Chicago is quick to emphasize they love being parents and spending time with their sons, raising youngsters can often be quite stressful, and they want to ensure that they were paying enough attention to each other. So they decided to do a New Year's resolution for 2018, and they would do a commitment to date each other every week for one night, one date night every week for a year. Well, that's good. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, my wife and I, we try to do things when we can, but ever since our son was born, we really, I know this sounds crazy, but we love taking him wherever we go. And I can't even remember last time we actually went out, other than when he's at school, because we'll go out and do breakfast or whatever. But the last time we actually went on a date without him. Um, all our vacations we've taken with him, um, everything. But we're probably not the typical couple. We don't drink a lot. I have one or two drinks every month, I guess, if that. And we just enjoy bringing him with us. We love his company. So, but I think it's great that couples get out and do something by themselves, and I think once a week is it's a good plan. So it might be something you want to think about with your significant other. Let's see what they got about animals, because I love animals. Let's see. Oh, this one was good. I saw this one yesterday, and it's a magician, and he performs tricks for dogs that are in a shelter, and he's trying to get them adopted. And the video says it all. It's really cute. And I'm gonna just. It's not very long. I'll just throw this on real quick. As you can see, they're trying to get the dogs adopted out.
Come here, Ruckus.
Here we go.
Sit.
Ruckus.
Stay.
He looks like a ruckus.
Ruckus. Ruckus. Watch the treat, buddy. See the treat?
It's like, what? I'm out of here.
Watch the treat.
Oh, this is Prince. Let's see what Prince does. Oh, Prince looking all over the place.
Where'd it go? Where'd it
He's
go?
like, I smell it, but I don't see it. Here's Luna. Oh, where's it at, Luna?
Where'd it go?
Pretty good. That's great. Oh, he got his hat.
Cookie baby.
Here's Callie. Oh. I feel so bad for those dogs.
Come here, Callie.
If you want a good dog, and you never had a dog, go check out those dogs at the shelter. They're great. Well, that's. Oh, look at that. He's so happy.
Cookie.
Fantastic. Love it. Love it. Brings a tear to my eye, too. But yeah, like I was saying, go check out the dogs at the shelter before you do anything else. Number one, they don't cost a whole lot of money. Like you go buy a brand new, full-blooded dog, and some people pay over $1,000. We paid $200 for Gumbo, and we didn't go to a shelter. We went through a rescue thing, and he's a little bit of a different story because his owner had him ever since he was a puppy, but she couldn't take care of him anymore because she lives with her, I guess, her elderly parents, and he's a handful. He's a big dog. He's just right over 100 pounds, and so I guess it was just too much for them, and so she put him up through this adoption service, and we ended up getting him. He has his moments. That's all I can say. But overall, he's a good dog, and I would strongly recommend if you're looking for a dog to check out the animal shelters or the rescue organizations first, and do that. In fact, I'm going to put up right here the SPCA plug that you can donate to them. So do that as well. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's do about one more story here. What's the hero story? Let's see. We don't get a lot of hero stories much anymore. Now this is interesting. A body cam footage shows a police officer saving a clucking chicken from a burning shed. Wow. Okay. Stereotypes say that chicks dig a guy in uniform, and based on this police body cam footage, there might actually be some truth to that. The Ossining, I can't pronounce that. Maybe if you're in New York, you know what it means. But anyway, the Ossining Police Department of New York recently published a video from a dispatch call, which their officers reporting to a local shed fire. Officer McGovern was assessing the interior of the burning shed. He smartly took action by first removing several tanks of propane in order to avoid exasperating the fire. Except as he was moving one of the propane tanks, he was suddenly to look down and see a lone chicken hide inside the burning shed. Poor little chicken. Police department later posted the footage to Facebook saying somewhere around the first day of field training, some salty cop usually hits you with, "Kid, you wouldn't believe what goes on around here if I told you." Anyway, he was not going to chicken out of his duties. The courageous New York cop gingerly pursued the bird up a set of stairs before he was finally able to get his hands around it and safely pass it on to rescue workers who were on the other side of the homeowner's fence. Well, I tell you what, he took a big old chance to save a chicken. I mean, not that, bravo for him, because in a burning fire like that, you could really, let's watch the video real fast. Let's see what they got going on here. I guess that's him. Don't try this at home, by the way. Boy, that's a fire there. Huh. Let's see. Does he get the chicken? What is all this? Oh, there's that chicken. He got the chicken. Oh, go get the chicken, buddy. I see this. So this is his body cam. Okay, gotcha. And he got the chicken. Oh, I see. He got the chicken before that particular structure got caught on fire. So it wasn't like he went into a burning building and got the chicken, but close. The fire is getting close. So, well, that's interesting. But I would not recommend saving a chicken in a burning building unless you really know what you're doing. And that would be, I would say you probably should be a firefighter because they know what they're doing. We had an unfortunate incident right here across the street. A neighbor lost their garage the other day. Went up in flames. In fact, I had just finished doing a show, and there was a bunch of commotion going on outside. And I looked, and there was a fire truck and everything else, and the garage was on fire next door across the street. And they ended up being a electrical fire. So I don't know what they had on with electricity, or maybe they had a faulty, whatever you call it, faulty electrical circuit or whatever. And so I feel bad for him. I think there's like a GoFundMe thing. If I can find it, I'll put it on here if you want to fund that person for their fire. Well, I think that's going to be about it for today. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the new format here with reading good news. If you like it, if you don't, let me know that too. And I'll do it. I may not do it every single day, but I'll do it every now and then just to get away from that bad news out there. Don't forget to subscribe right down there in the corner. You know where it is. Go ahead, you can do that. And also like the video, and please, please, please give me comments, because I had all kinds of thoughts in my head yesterday. I was like, well, you know what? We could do like the old timey marketplace. Used to turn on a swap shop, they called it, and you can't turn on the radio, and they'd have the guy talking, and people would call in from all over saying, "Yeah, I got a washing machine for $50 or whatever," and then he'd say, "Okay." And a little bit later, someone would call and say, "I'd like to get that washing machine." He goes, "Oh, okay, well," and then he'd hook them up. Well, we could do the same exact thing here. You just put in a comment that you got whatever you want to sell or whatever, and then somebody will comment, "Yeah, I want that too," and then you two can connect with each other and do your deed. So hey, why not? I mean, it's the internet. Why use it just for games and all that kind of stuff? And you can use it for back in the day like they used to do on the radio. So let me know what you think about that too, because that would be a lot of fun. So all right, y'all, have a great day, and I'll see you. Oh, I guess I'll see you on the next go around, whenever that might be. Bye.